Good day, everyone. For this week activity, we have nurse compounding and nurse compounding policy of our institution. Now, the purpose of this presentation or activity is the nurse compounding ensures safe medication administration, so prepare medications accurately to reduce medication errors. Second, we have to meet individual patient needs, so customize dose, concentration, or form when commercial preparations are not suitable, like for example for pediatric or geriatric patients. And then third, we have to maintain medication effectiveness, so prepare medications correctly to preserve potency and therapeutic action. Then number four, promote timely patient care. This enable immediate preparation of medication, especially in emergency and critical care settings. Number five, to adhere legal and ethical standards. So we have to follow provider's order, hospital policies, and scope of nursing practice. Number six, prevent contamination and infection. This is with the use of aseptic technique to ensure sterility and patient safety. Number seven, support interprofessional collaboration. So this is working in coordination or in collaboration with the pharmacists and physicians for optimal medication management. And finally, to enhance quality of nursing care, this is ensuring accurate patient-specific medication preparation and administration. And then at the end of this presentation, a short assessment will be provided. Now, for any queries, you can always check with us in the academic affairs, nursing department, pharmacy department, because the nurse compounding is an interdepartmental policies and procedure. Okay, now moving on to the definition of terms. Nurse compounding is defined as the process in which the nurse prepares, mixes, alters, or combines medications to create a drug that is ready to be administered to a patient based on the provider's order. Okay, now moving on to the common examples of nurse compounding. And this includes constituting powdered antibiotics with diluent, diluting IV medications to the correct concentration, mixing medications into IV fluids, preparing pediatric doses from adult formulations, drawing up insulin or chemotherapy in exact doses, mixing topical medications as ordered. Now, why nurse compounding is done? So it is done because the exact dose is not commercially available. The patient needs a special formulation, example, pediatric or geriatric patients. Another is the IV medication requires preparation before use. And finally, it is sometimes required during emergency or critical care situations. Okay, now moving forward to the next slides, we have here 5 examples of nurse compounding. So an example of this one, we have reconstitution of IV antibiotics. So the order is ceftriaxone 1 gram IV once daily. So the nursing action would be reconstitute ceftriaxone powder with 10 ml of sterile water. Then we have to gently swirl until it dissolves. This is our way of mixing the solution. Then withdraw prescribed dose and then administer via IV as ordered. So this is an example wherein the nurse prepares the medication before administration, and this is called nurse compounding. Okay, so this is our second example of nurse compounding. So IV medication dilution, the order is potassium chloride, 20 ml equivalent in 1 liter normal saline, IV over 8 hours. So the nursing action would be add potassium chloride to IV fluid using a septic technique. Then we will have to label the solution with medication, dose, date, and time, and then double check with another nurse. We have to remember that high alert medications, double checking is required. Okay, another example, we have pediatric dose preparation. So the order is paracetamol 10 mg per kilogram per orem. Nursing action includes calculate the correct dose based on the weight of the child and draw exact amount of liquid formulation, and then we have to administer it safely. Remember that dose adjustment equals compounding. So another example is emergency medication preparation. So the scenario, there is a cardiac arrest. So nursing action includes draw up an epinephrine per ACLS protocol, dilute and prepare for IV push. Now remember that this is a time critical nurse compounding. Okay, for our final nurse compounding example, we have insulin preparation. The order, regular insulin infusion, 50 units in 50 ml normal saline. Now, nursing action includes draw insulin into syringe, mix with normal saline to order concentration, label, and double check. Okay, moving on to the important safety considerations during nurse compounding. So, the nurse must follow physician's order, hospital policies and protocols, aseptic technique, and the rights of medication administration, including double check procedure, especially for high alert medications. Now, for the documentation of nurse compounding, we can write this one in our nurse's note. Example, medication reconstituted and diluted per doctor's order using aseptic technique. Dose verified and double check. Patient tolerated medication without adverse reaction. Okay, now presenting to you the policies and procedure of the Department of Nursing, Nurse Compounding. This is an interdepartmental policies and procedure, and this applies to all staff. The purpose of the nurse compounding policy is to provide guidelines for nurse and pharmacy admixture in the alternate setting, and responsibilities will be from the clinical specialist and director of pharmacy have the responsibility for approval of, compliance with, and the revisions to this policy. Okay, now moving on to the policy of nurse compounding. Now, medication shall be admixed upon order of a physician or authorized prescriber. When we say admix, it means it is combined together. Now, in the nursing or medical use, admix means a medication has been mixed with another substance. So when we are going to document this one, we can just state it that an antibiotic admixed with normal saline, or a potassium chloride admixed in IV fluids, or heparin is admixed in a dextrose solution, or we could also state as vancomycin was admixed in 250 ml of normal saline and infused over 2 hours. Then second policy is aseptic admixture by the registered nurse shall occur only when the pharmacy services are unavailable or when medication has short stability. Another is commercially available products which are manufactured and packaged as single sterile unit and mixed immediately prior to use. Another is admixture shall occur immediately prior to administration except in a rare drug specific protocols that requires a drug to be prepared in advance for patient safety. And finally, use standard concentration of pre-mixed solution and dosing rate charts when possible to facilitate infusion rate calculation. Okay, let's continue the policy of nurse compounding. So, admixing shall be completed by the nurse competent in the procedure. The nurse shall be knowledgeable in aseptic manipulation, operating procedure, and equipment. The nurse shall also have a knowledge of basic calculation, dose, rate, concentration to compound medications and program the pump or the infusion pump if applicable. Now, the nurse shall verify chemical, physical, or therapeutic compatibilities and stabilities prior to mixing medication and solutions. Another admixture shall be done as an aseptic procedure which includes prevention of touch contamination. And each nurse must be observed and skills confirmed by a qualified physician, preferably a pharmacist, prior to compounding in an alternate site or teaching a patient to compound. Now, a qualified clinician is one that has their compounding skills verified by the pharmacist. Okay, now let's move on to the procedure of nurse compounding. So we have to review the order, verify the patient's identity, and assess for history of allergies. So we have to assemble medication and supplies. Okay, washing of hands, identify medication to be added or to be added to the solution. We have to check the manufacturer's expiration dates, lot numbers, and defects on all products used in mixing. And we have to verify and check orders and all labels to confirm appropriateness of those and parenteral route and use. Okay, let's continue. So we have to clean all rubber stoppers or ampoule necks using alcohol swabs. We have to place all containers on a clean, flat surface. We have to manipulate syringe parts appropriately, not touching critical site areas. All aseptic manipulations are performed in a manner to show obvious effort to prevent touch contamination. And we need to understand the concept of positive pressure when appropriate. Okay, next, so we have to withdraw the contents from medication vial using appropriate size syringes and needless adapter. Then we have to use a filter needle or straw when withdrawing medication from glass ampoule. We have to carefully check the measured volume related to the amount ordered. If using a filter needle, after withdrawing and checking the medication, discard the filter needle and attach new and needleless adapter. Now, insert a needle or needleless adapter into a port of administration container and inject the contents of the syringe. And remove the syringe and gently agitate container. Use a transfer device and gently agitate the container. Okay, to continue, when compounding more than one medication in the same container, we have to add one medication at a time, and we have to add the most concentrated or the most soluble drug first. Okay, the most soluble drug first, it means that these are the drugs that dissolves in a solvent without leaving particles or residue. And then we have to add colored additives so as not to mask the development of precipitate, and visually inspect container after each additive to check for development of precipitate or other defects. As to labeling the container, we have to include the patient name, ID number, birth date, the date and time mix, medication, the trade or generic names or the brand name, dosage and concentration, the expiry date and time, the route of administration, the flow rate of administration, other special instruction or considerations, and the name of the compounding nurse. Okay, after admixture or after the procedure, so we have to discard the expended equipment in appropriate containers. So we have to do the hand hygiene again and document the inpatient's medical records. And when applicable and with the physician's order, the nurse is able to verbalize and teach these compounding procedures to a patient or caregiver. In nurse compounding, nurses must not compound medications without doctor's order. Nurses must not create a new drug formulation or experimental mixes. Nurses must not compound medication outside hospital policy. Nurses must not prepare bulk medication for multiple patients. Nurses must not alter medication dose, route, or frequency independently. Nurses must not compound sterile products requiring pharmacy-level facilities like the total parenteral nutrition unless trained or authorized. Nurses must not reuse compound medications for another patient.